Have you ever heard of the hidden side of Solomon, the wisest king of Israel? What if I told you he was much more than a just leader and strategist, but also a profound knower of spiritual forces and magic? Today we're going to explore the mysterious forbidden Book of Solomon, a work filled with secrets and legends that go beyond what's told in the Bible. In this Testament of Solomon, the king converses with angels, subjugates demons, and possesses a seal with powers to control supernatural forces. Want to know how he used this mystical knowledge and what it represents even today? Then stay with me until the end to dive into this enigmatic story. And of course, leave your like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Solomon, the king of wisdom, and his hidden mystery. Solomon, the third king of Israel and successor to David, is remembered as the wisest monarch in biblical history. According to the Bible, his wisdom was a divine gift. He asked God for an understanding heart to govern with justice and discernment, and he received unparalleled intelligence. However, in many mystical traditions and texts beyond the canonical, Solomon emerges as an even more complex figure. He not only ruled with justice, but also had access to deep knowledge that transcended human understanding, a hidden wisdom that made him a true knower of the invisible. This special wisdom turned him into a legend across various cultures, with stories claiming that Solomon had the ability to control and command supernatural forces. The Testament of Solomon, an apocryphal text, offers details about his relationship with spiritual entities and his dominion over demons and angels. In this text, he appears not only as a just and wise leader, but also as a powerful magician capable of using the Seal of Solomon, a magical ring with a sacred symbol, to subdue demons and mystical forces to his service. This ring allowed him to manipulate forces beyond human reach and apply them for the good of his people, especially in the construction of the Temple of Jerusalem, which was seen as a grand and almost divine work. This portrayal of Solomon as a ruler who also explored the unknown has shaped his image across traditions, making him a symbol of wisdom that connects the physical world with the spiritual. He represents an ideal leader, one who seeks to understand not only material challenges, but also the profound mysteries of creation. The Testament of Solomon, an enigmatic text. The Testament of Solomon is a fascinating work that deviates from traditional biblical accounts to describe a king who transcended the conventional role of a monarch. This manuscript, written in ancient Greek and dated between the 1st and 3rd centuries, presents Solomon on a mission that goes beyond governmental responsibilities. He becomes a commander of supernatural forces. This text narrates how Solomon received from God the Seal of Solomon, a ring that gave him the power to summon and control demons. In the account, Solomon not only controls these demons, but interrogates them, seeking to understand their origins, names, powers, and weaknesses. This investigative process reveals a side of Solomon as an untiring scholar of the mysteries of evil, which he manipulates to serve a greater purpose. Each demon possessed specific abilities, linked to human vices or challenges such as lust, anger, and greed. Solomon used this knowledge not only to protect himself, but also to employ them in practical tasks like building the temple. His control over these beings represented a unique form of justice, where evil was redirected toward good, integrated into a higher purpose. One of the most striking examples is Ornias, a demon who tormented a young worker by draining his strength and vitality. Upon discovering the cause of the young man's suffering, Solomon used his sacred ring to capture Ornias, forcing him to reveal the names of other evil spirits and their powers. This episode not only demonstrates Solomon's control over dark forces, but also reflects his compassion and commitment to his people, using spiritual knowledge to protect and assist those under his care. The Seal of Solomon, a symbol of spiritual and hidden power. The Seal of Solomon is one of the most powerful representations in mystical tradition associated with the king. According to the Testament of Solomon, the seal was more than a mere magical ring. It symbolized a direct connection between the divine and human realms, acting as a key to command and interact with entities from other planes. This ring, described with a symbol of two overlapping triangles forming a six-pointed star, is interpreted as the merging of opposites, the celestial and the earthly, the visible and the invisible. The seal also symbolized balance and harmony between opposing forces, a convergence point where good and evil intersect under divine dominion. Solomon used this mystical power to seal spiritual pacts and control the passage between our world and the spiritual one, enabling him to both summon and restrain hidden forces that might threaten his kingdom. Over time, the Seal of Solomon gained a cultural and spiritual significance that transcended Solomon himself. It became a mystical and protective symbol, found in grimoires and amulets, used to invoke knowledge, ward off evil, and attract spiritual balance. In the Kabbalistic tradition, this symbol represents the union of opposites and the path to deep self-knowledge. It is also associated with alchemy, where the seal represented balance among elements and spiritual transformation. Solomon's connections with angels and demons. Solomon's ability to communicate with and command both angels and demons is one of the most intriguing elements of his story. In the Testament of Solomon, he appears as a king who rules over men and spiritual beings, maintaining a bridge between the physical and the supernatural. His ability to summon and question these entities suggests an understanding of cosmic forces and a unique capacity to integrate these powers into his life and his rule. Among the demons Solomon subdued were entities associated with human vices and weaknesses, such as Asmodeus, the demon of lust, a force Solomon mastered and used to maintain peace in his kingdom. Asmodeus was known to stir up human desires that led to imbalance and destruction, but under Solomon's dominion, his influence was controlled and directed for the benefit of the realm. By interacting with these forces, Solomon sought to understand the darker aspects of human nature, not to surrender to them, but to overcome them and protect his people from malevolent influences. The angels, on the other hand, provided spiritual guidance and protection, assisting Solomon in moments of uncertainty and danger. Archangels such as Michael, who is traditionally associated with divine justice, appear in some accounts as Solomon's guides, helping him discern the limits of his power and respect divine laws. These celestial beings reminded Solomon that, despite his extraordinary gifts, he was still accountable to a higher authority, God, and that he must respect the cosmic balance and the responsibilities of his gift. Hidden wisdom and lost secrets in the Christian tradition. Beyond his practical wisdom, Solomon was seen as a guardian of hidden knowledge and sacred secrets. Many believe he knew the true name of God, the sacred Tetragrammaton, a sequence of letters that, according to Jewish tradition, represents the divine essence. This knowledge would allow Solomon to manipulate reality, interact with natural forces, and exercise dominion over spiritual entities, surpassing human capacities. Solomon also understood the power of symbols and the elements of creation, knowledge that was transmitted and preserved over centuries by mystical traditions like Kabbalah. For Kabbalists, Solomon represents the pursuit of union with the divine and understanding the hidden mysteries that govern the universe. This ideal of wisdom and transcendence was inherited by other mystics and occultists, who saw Solomon as an alchemical master and an example of spiritual enlightenment. Over time, this hidden wisdom was encoded in grimoires and esoteric texts that describe rituals, invocations, and techniques to access this knowledge. Such secrets came to be viewed as a spiritual heritage, preserved in initiatic orders and secret societies that saw Solomon as a symbol of universal wisdom. The influence of the Testament of Solomon in esoteric texts and traditions. The Testament of Solomon left a profound legacy on esoteric practices and the creation of grimoires detailing rituals and formulas to summon and control spiritual forces. Translated and adapted over the centuries, the text inspired works like the Clavicles of Solomon and the Goetia, which described spiritual entities and their power. These works influenced occult traditions and ceremonial magic, transforming Solomon into a figure that transcends religion, representing mastery over the unknown. In Kabbalah, Solomon is seen as a master who uncovered deep mysteries and sought harmony between man and the divine. His seal, in practical Kabbalah, is used as a talisman to attract spiritual protection and wisdom. In medieval alchemy, Solomon inspired the concept of solve et coagula, the process of dissolution and union, reflecting his command over elements and his ability to transform opposing forces. Mystical orders such as the Rosicrucians and Freemasons also drew inspiration from the teachings attributed to Solomon. For these orders, he symbolized the pursuit of moral and spiritual perfection. Solomon's temple came to represent the inner temple that each initiate must build within, reinforcing the idea that true power lies in wisdom and self-knowledge. Exploring the hidden secrets of Solomon reminds us how spiritual knowledge is an eternal quest, spanning centuries and inviting us to go beyond the visible. If this story made you reflect and brought up new questions, feel free to follow the channel and dive even deeper into these mysteries and hidden wisdoms. Each video is a new journey into knowledge that connects us with the spiritual and helps us understand the universe beyond the surface. See you in the next video.